Hello there, good morning, and welcome to the Football Tribe YouTube channel. My name is Robert K. Sarkos. If you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe, and if you're regular, don't forget to like, comment, and share with your colleagues. So, how was your weekend? How is your Monday morning? If you are an English fan, then I know it is commiserations as England lost by a goal to nil to Spain, who won the FIFA Women's World Cup there on Sunday. So, and back in the Premier League, if you're Manchester United, I know the story is the same for you, as well as for Chelsea fans. And if you're a Brighton fan, or a Manchester City fan, or a Liverpool fan, I know you have a smile on your face. As Arsenal fans continue to wait for their fate, waiting to play Crystal Palace on Monday night at Selhurst Park. So, let's get it all started with the Premier League review of Match Day 2. Now, Match Day 2 Premier League action kicked off on Friday night as Nottingham Forest beat up against Sheffield United by 2-1. Taiwo Awoniyi, the new father there, opening the scoring for the home side, while Gams Hammer found the equalizer early in the second half for the visitors. But Chris Wood came off the bench to steal it all for the hosts, scoring in the 89th minute to win it 2-1 for Nottingham Forest. Action continued then on Saturday with one game postponed. That was Luton Town versus Burnley due to reasons of stadium rehabilitation, as you may have watched in my preview of all the action over the weekend. So, action kicked off at Craven Cottage, where Fulham lost by 3-0 against Brentford, the visitors there. It was Yohan Wissa who opened the scoring for the visitors in the first half, capitalizing on a short back pass to goalkeeper Bernard Leno, who couldn't meet it. Wissa found the ball and slotted it in the back of the net to open the scoring. In the second half, Bryan Mbeumo scored twice to give Thomas Frank's side a 3-0 victory there, to add onto their first point that they attained when they hosted Tottenham Hotspur, ending in a 2-2 draw earlier on Match Day 1. So, Bryan Mbeumo scored a penalty and the other to seal the victory for Thomas Frank's side. Moving on, action at Anfield. So Liverpool beat up against Bournemouth by 3-1. Now, Liverpool had an early scare in the game as Anthony Semenyo opened the scoring for the visitors to send Andoni Iraola and his side into early celebrations. But it was far from done, as Luis Diaz, as he did last weekend against Chelsea, found the back of the net with a stunning strike to level matters for the home side. Liverpool, in the first half, went on to earn themselves a penalty following a foul against Dominic Szoboszlai, who I thought was very brilliant in that game. He was a star. He dominated that midfield along with McAllister, who unfortunately got a red card in the second half. So, Mo Salah at the penalty spot failed to convert, not until the rebound, to give Liverpool a 2-1 lead going into halftime. And in the second half, summer signing Alexis McAllister was given matching orders by the referee when he showed him a red card for a high boot tackle there. So a decision, in my opinion, that I thought was a bit harsh. Yes, it was worthy of being penalized with a yellow card, but not a red card. And it turns out that Andoni Iraola does agree that it was a harsh decision for the Argentine midfielder. But shortly after that, Diego Jota managed to find the back of the net to make it 3-1 for Jurgen Klopp's men. So 3-1 it ended, and 3 points on the board for Jurgen Klopp's side. Jurgen Klopp did express his dissatisfaction for the decision of the red card to McAllister, and it is expected that Liverpool will be appealing that decision to see McAllister relieved of that red card. If the decision is not repealed, McAllister will have to serve a 3-match ban as it was a straight red card. So a bit of unworthy officiating there. I didn't think it was that the incident was worthy of a red card. Yes, it was a bad tackle, but one that the referee could, give a yellow card and move on and let Liverpool play. But overall, Liverpool were brilliant. They were good enough and they did deserve the win. Then things got interesting again in the weekend as Tottenham Hotspurs hosted Manchester United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. 2-0, 2-0. Yes, 2-0. Manchester United on the losing end there. Now, Manchester United did kick off the game well, high pressing, they were fast, but a couple of minutes into the game or a quarter, an hour into the game, and they started to double down on their intensity. No wonder Moises Bissouma went on to dominate that midfield along Pape Matissa, who scored late in the second half, as you will see. So, but Manchester United had a penalty shout in the first half that wasn't given when Alejandro Garnacho made an attempt on goal, but the ball struck the arm of Christian Romero. Now, VAR again did review, the incident, but no action was taken, as was the case on Monday night when Manchester United beat Wolves by a goal to nil. Wolves had an appeal for a penalty, but it wasn't given late on in the game. Now, this time round, Manchester United found themselves on the receiving end of a bad decision when they were denied that clear penalty because Christian Romero's arms were wide open. They weren't in the natural position, as we like to put it in the footballing language. But despite the review from VAR, the penalty wasn't given, and Bruno Fernandez, the captain for Manchester United, was fuming. And even in the post-match press conference, he did say he will be waiting for an apology from the officials, as the case again was against, Wolves, because it is said that Simon Hooper, the referee there, did give his apologies for the incident on Monday night. So Bruno Fernandez was demanding the same. He's waiting to see whether it will be made a big deal of in the media, as the case had been earlier when the action was on their side. So whatever the Pidgeotto will decide on that one, we'll wait to hear from them. But Manchester United did lose by 2-1. Pape Matsa opening the scoring there in the second half, while Lisandro Martinez found himself guiding the ball into the back of his own net to make it 2-0 for the home side. Poor display from Manchester United. Again, they lacked the intensity overall, they lacked the athleticism, they were outplayed in the midfield, where everybody seems to concur with me or with the United fans that they do need, additions in their midfield. Now, over the course of the summer, they've been linked with a move for Sofian Amrabat, the Fiorentina midfielder, but nothing has moved forward. So we'll wait to see whether they will have more recruitments for the midfield. So we await to see what Manchester United, what decision they will take in the transfer market, as it is still, we all know, but it was a horrible display. If you're Manchester United, you should be concerned, if not worried. If things continue like this, Manchester United may not even finish in the top 4. It was a poor display against a Spurs side that, on another day, you wouldn't expect to be exception against a Manchester United side. Moises Bissouma, very, very good in that midfield. Pepe Matsa, incredible. So that was the story. Commiserations for Manchester United. They did steal the win against Wolves. We thought they would be much better this weekend, but it was never the case. Indeed, and in the analysis, former Manchester United captain Roy Keane did say that Manchester United are the new Spurs. Desperate is how he put it. So let's wait and see whether their fortunes will be better on match day 3. Moving forward, again on Saturday night, Manchester City beat up against Newcastle United by a goal to nil. The Argentina striker Julian Alvarez was the one who found the back of the net to give Manchester City all the 3 points in a game that I thought that Newcastle did perform well to keep Manchester City at bay, limiting them to very few chances. But then again, Phil Foden in that midfield was incredible, as was Rodri. Manchester City dominated play for the better part of the game, dominating possession, their short passes. They made Newcastle run around. But eventually, nothing could happen for Newcastle. They did miss a few chances here and there, but all their efforts were not worthy of a result on the back of their 5-0 victory against Aston Villa on match day 1. So match day 2, they did lose to the reigning champions, Manchester City, by a goal to nil. But then, now, you know how they say, save the best for last. Saturday action. Brighton beating up against Wolves by 4 goals to 1. Again, for the second time running, Brighton did win by 4 goals to 1. This time around, beating Wolverhampton Wanderers away from home. So it was Kaoru Mitoma, the 26-year Japanese attacking midfielder there, that opened the scoring for Roberto Di Zerbi's side with a brilliant strike. Pavian Estupiñán providing the assist, but the run he made from deep in on the flank to slot the ball in the back of the net was just incredible. This guy is too good. He continues to be better and better. Who thought that Brighton would be this sharp after losing some of their key stars, especially in midfield with McAllister and Moises Caicedo, who have since joined Liverpool and Chelsea respectively. Solid match with a double strike in the game again. Kaoru Mitoma providing one of the assists, providing an assist to Estupiñán, who doubled the lead for Brighton. After that, it was a solid match show as he scored twice to make it 4-0. But then Wolves were able to find consolation through Wang Hee-chan there. I understand Wang Hee-chan is a target for Werder Bremen and Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga, but it was a bad day for Gary O'Neill's side as they lost by 4 goals to 1. Brilliant performance from Mitoma, Estupiñán, the left back, very incredible. He's good on the overlap, he's good defensively, his all-round play. I think for Arsenal, who have lost Urian Timber to a season-long injury there, and are probably pondering their options of, maybe whether they should go back in the market and find somebody else. There could be somebody that they look at, or perhaps they'll look elsewhere. But he was very good in that game, as well as the Japanese, winger and Soleiman. Very good game. So Brighton lead the pack there with maximum points, 6 points from 2 games, 8 goals and 2 conceded in 2 games. Brighton may be a hard team to stop this season. So that was all the action from Saturday, and then we moved on to Sunday, where Aston Villa brushed off Everton in a humbling 4-0 victory. They did humble Sean Dyche with his side. Now, we know Sean Dyche for, masterminding that defensive, and physical game, but it was almost non-existent against Aston Villa. Aston Villa, who came off the back of a 5-1 thumping against Newcastle last weekend. They did look sharp despite all their injury troubles, including defender Tyrone Mings, who had a knee injury. John McGinn, the captain, opened the scoring again with a brilliant strike. Leon Bailey providing the assist there. Then Douglas Luiz did double the lead before halftime when he scored from the penalty spot there. Then You had again Leon Bailey in the second half score to make it 3-0, while that score was improved by Duran. He came off the bench and scored to make it 4-0. Sean Dyche's side did look out muscle from from front, from the back to front. Their midfield uh, did perform on the day. They just looked, they just didn't look like a Premier League team that is scared of another relegation battle. On the back of the relegation they had to fight last season. Jordan Pickford made a brilliant save there to deny Moussa Diaby again in the first half, although he was the culprit in that penalty conceded. He did foul, the Aston Villa player to concede that penalty. So it was 4-0 on Sunday for Aston Villa at home against Everton. So Everton fans, be worried if you're there, or if you're watching, if you're listening, whatever the case is. Then again on Sunday at the London Stadium, West Ham did host Chelsea. Now Chelsea, with all their nearly £1 billion signings of that date back to the previous two transfer windows, could not mastermind a victory or even a point against West Ham. West Ham did beat Chelsea by 3-1. Moises Caicedo having a debut that you will want to forget as soon as yesterday. Very horrendous. He was on the pitch for about 30 minutes, but he was horrible. A number of missed tackles, misplaced passes, and including conceding a penalty as the game wore on. So, West Ham beat up against the mighty Chelsea with all their money. All their money. Very, very poor. Naif Agat opened the scoring for the Hammers, while Michael Antonio, was the other on target. But earlier on, Kanei Chukwemeka had leveled matters for the visitors. And then later on, it was Lucas Paqueta, the Brazilian left-footed midfielder, that slotted the ball in the back of the net off a penalty spot to make it 3-1 for David Moyes' side. Mauricio Pochettino has asked Chelsea fans and the entire football fraternity to trust the process. Now, I remember back in the days when Mikel Arteta used the same words, and he was mocked here and there about trusting the process. But I guess Arsenal's process is starting, to show results. Well, Mauricio Pochettino is asking for the sake of matches of Chelsea fans and saying trust the process. It won't be quick. Now remember, Chelsea came into the game with a good number of injuries. So they didn't have their captain Richie James there. One of the key injured players, Christopher Nkuku, the striker, among a host of other players that are on their injury list. But that was no excuse, because they still had the likes of Enzo Fernandez, Nicolas Jackson, you had Moises Caicedo, you had Mikhailo Modric, you had Raheem Sterling that won the penalty in the game that Enzo Fernandez went on to miss. So no excuses for Chelsea there, because even with all their injuries, they remained with a potent squad that could get a result against West Ham. But, well, while Moises Caicedo had a debut to forget, James Ward Prowse had one to remember, as he provided 2 assists in the game there for the first goal and the second goal. Very brilliant debut. It was the James Ward Prowse we've known over the years at Southampton. Well, now he's at West Ham, and he will be balling. So that was all the action from the weekend, dating from Friday through Saturday and Sunday. Those were the results. Sorry for those that lost, and congratulations to those that won. Arsenal wait for their fate. They play Crystal Palace away at Selhurst Park. So catch that preview later on the channel. So do not forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and see you next time.